Good Monday morning, everybody. Great to be with you, and we want to continue this journey through Lent. What we have seen so far is that Jesus freed us from our shackles and turned us from darkness into light. And if darkness is disobedience, then light is obedience. And we saw that disobedience is not just not doing things that are forbidden. Disobedience is also doing nothing when we have been commanded to do things. So next we are going to see that God turns our fruitlessness into fruitfulness. Let's look at verse 9 of Ephesians 5. That's where we are right now in Ephesians 5. For the fruit of the light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. And find out what pleases the Lord. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. So the disobedient deeds associated with darkness are described in Ephesians 5 as well, a little earlier, verses 3 and 4. This is what he says. He says, but among you there must not even be a hint of sexual immorality or of any kind of impurity or of greed, because these are improper for God's holy people. Nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are out of place. Rather, thanksgiving. So Paul gives this list of deeds that are fruitless. They are fruitless because they produce nothing of value. They neither have the qualities of good character, nor do they bring freedom from darkness for yourself or for others. So living as children of light is associated with obedience. And it is not deed generated. It is not like as if you can will it yourself. It is fruit generated. It is organic. It is natural. It comes from the Holy Spirit. Paul describes the fruit of the Holy Spirit much more fully in Galatians. But here, there's an emphasis on just three characteristics. The first is goodness. He says we should be pursuing goodness, which is defined as a level of moral excellence. It's associated with caring, kindness, generosity, and forgiveness. Next, he says we should be pursuing righteousness, seeking to do what is right before God, a humble, contrite obedience to his word in life. It is not the achievement of righteousness. It is the pursuit of it, the desire for it, the heart for righteousness. And finally, truth. Honesty in all things. Transparency in your actions, in your dealings, in your relationships. Willingness to own your mistakes and your errors rather than excusing or rationalizing them away. Paul's point is simple. That living in disobedience is fruitless because it leaves the darkness in you. But some people may say that they are children of light while they are still living and they are not bearing the fruit of the light. Well, I'm sorry, but Paul says this cannot be. If we are children of light, we will bear fruit. We must bear fruit. If the Holy Spirit is in us, it will cause goodness and righteousness and truth to grow in our lives. So if that fruit is not there, something's wrong. Jesus himself said, you'll know them by their fruit. You know, imagine I go to the nursery and I buy an apple tree for my yard. And I take it home and I dig a hole and I plant it in my yard and I grow an apple tree. And then the following year, as that apple tree grows and blooms and begins to create fruit, I see that the fruit on it are pears, not apples. Well, one thing I know for sure, there's no doubt about it. This is not an apple tree. It's a pear tree. The fruit tells us without doubt what the tree is. So when we move from dark to light, we will bear fruit. And whatever else we may say about it, the fruit is by the fruit that God knows what kind of tree we really are. So today in closing, I just want you to meditate on those three characteristics of the fruit that Paul mentions here. And as I said, this is not deeds oriented. So I don't want you to will this, but I want you to pray for the Holy Spirit to help you. Sometimes we see the full list of fruit of the Holy Spirit, and it's an overwhelming list: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, self-control. It's like, wow, it's too many things. But here Paul just gives us three. Just three: goodness, righteousness, and truth. Just take these three as described and decide one thing you will do to embody each of these in the coming weeks as we journey through Lent and approach Holy Week. Pray for God to help you make that goal. Pray for the Holy Spirit to bring that fruit about in your life, and just think of one thing you can do to embody each one of those different characteristics. And by doing that, may we all be the light. And may we all let that light shine in us and through us and be fruitful, as by faith our shackles are broken and we live the lives that Christ has called us to live. God bless you, and have a wonderful day for His glory.